What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. So, something that I have been trying to do for a very long time has finally been done, and that is created a dedicated trade binder for Edison. I have a lot of bulk, I have a lot of different cards, and like I was kind of going through it. I'm like, you know what? How come I don't have an Edison binder? And I started putting it together a little slowly, but then this weekend I said, screw this. I'm taking a chunk of my day, and I finally got an Edison binder together. So I decided to go ahead and make a Edison market watch. A lot of the cards that I've chosen are not really super expensive, so I'm probably gonna do a part 2 going over more, if not expensive cards of Edison, more obscure cards in Edison, because there's a lot of cards that, when I was going over different deck lists of people, and like different kind of variants of different things and different kind of random rogue and fun decks people use, I'm like, I didn't even know that was like a card that people would consider for Edison. So with all out the way, if you like what we do, please feel free to like and subscribe. If not, it is all cool. We do videos like this all the time. If we're trying to get to 500 subscribers, so please help us get to that goal. We got a special tournament planned once we get to 500 subscribers, and a giveaway for all people that are subscribed. So with all out the way, let's go ahead and get into the video. Book of Eclipse was an interesting card because I didn't know it was in Edison. To be honest, I actually started playing at the tail end of 2011. More hardcore, I would say 2012. Like I might release like a video kind of talking about my whole journey of Yu-Gi-Oh, because like I didn't really get seriously competitively into Yu-Gi-Oh until maybe like late 2012, because like I would say like at the end of 2011 was when I started playing with my friend who got me back into it, and then in 2012 that's kind of when I met the current group that I still play Yu-Gi-Oh with to this day, and those are the kind of the guys that really got me into playing it every weekend. So yeah, so like I really missed Edison format, so I'm not really 100% familiar with every single card that was out in that era. But when I saw Book of Eclipse in a couple of people's deck list, I was pretty surprised, because this is something that obviously is still used to this day. Obviously people use Book of Moon more, but you got the super rare from Astral Pack here at like 185, $2 range. You got the secret rare, kind of similar thing in a $1 to $2 range. Ultra rare from Dude, like 43 cents, 84 cents. Like the one thing I like about Edison format, it is pretty contained price wise. So like you're not spending like $200-300 on decks. Usually you could probably buy maybe even 2 or 3 decks for about $200 to $300. But for the most part, you're spending about anywhere from $50 to $120 on some of these decks. $120 being if you choose to get like certain high rarity. So, but like this is the kind of card out there. If you have these are used for Edison. Book of Moon will be the more popular card, like you use for Edison. You can tell by the price right here. This is another card that is also good in multiple different formats. It doesn't cause your opponent to draw, so it's good both in Edison, plus it's also good in this current format where drawing is even more powerful than it was, back then. So, you got the ultra rare right here, still up. I believe I talked about Book of Moon a lot of times on the channel. So if you kind of find yourself looking around your bulk and you're like, oh, I have common Book of Moons, they are actually worth about 85 cents to $1. Like don't think that that those common Book of Moons are just like some whatever thing that no one cares about. These cards are worth money. So like Book of Moons being out there are worth money. Just keep that in mind. Tragodia is a card that I have not talked about in such a long time. Every time I randomly play Edison, I used to play Edison a little more consistently, but as of lately, I've been more concerned with kind of like trying to get my top, for nationals. So I've kind of like put Edison on the back burner, the past couple, especially the past couple months, to be honest. But Tragodia is a card that like every time I'm playing it, I see someone drop a Tragodia at my locals when they're playing casual Edison, and I'm like, oh yeah, Tragodia is there. You get the commons for about 10 and 30 cents. Commons here, kind of like same thing. The ultra rares from Jump, those right here very much vary. You got like you can get these damage ones for like 428. Like some heavy plate for like 725. But like I don't want to dig too deep right here. But we're looking at like the market price right here at like 13-14 for some limiteds. Let's say like near mint limited, one copy for about $12. So we're looking at like 12 to 13 bucks for this card if you in like near mint condition. But if it's like any damage, it's like $4 to $5. Which is something to keep in mind though. If you have this card, even if it's a little scuffed up, it's still worth some good money. So kind of like be on the lookout for Tragodia. Gore is the Emissary of Darkness. I remember when I first got back into playing Yu-Gi-Oh, how just man, like, I remember the first time I got punished by Gores. I was playing my friend, and I was just casually, just I think I had like a three. I was playing the Dragon's Collide structure deck, and I just like casually just attack him with my highest monster, and he's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take that. I'm a Gores, and I was like, oh, like what is this? And when I read, I'm like, this is the most brokenest thing I have ever freaking seen in my life, and it really did scar me. And before I even knew it was a trend to attack with your lowest monsters, it always in my head was like, huh, I should have attacked with my lowest monster. So this is one of those like hilarious cards that kind of like scar players, where if you were playing Yu-Gi-Oh around the era, you literally probably got punished at least one time, by Gores. So you got a lot of, like, literally the rares and the commons, they're about the 99 to 85 cents range. So like if you got these commons that are 85 cents, these rares are $1. Any other kind of hollow printing of Gores, we're looking at anywhere from like $1 to $4. Like I don't want to go over it too much, because then we're gonna be like looking through a whole bunch of pages. But the ultra rares right here, if you the limited collections near mints are around $4. Same with these secrets are more like around $5 to $6, and the gold rares are around like 2 to 3. But like I said, if they're heavily played, they'll be kind of dollars all day. The ghost rare, which I want to check, I don't think I have any more, to be honest. I think I've already got rid of it. But but like these were like a little bit higher. You got the ultra rare from like the manga promo. These kind of like very kind of like the same thing. Like if you, they could vary from being very expensive to just being, to being a casual $3 to $4. And then you got the secret rare, which is that one that I actually have a secret version of this on me right now, but someone drew flames on it with a highlighter, so I'm probably gonna have to like, I'm just gonna give it. I'm just probably gonna like mod play probably for like $5. It's still in good, decent condition, but it does have that highlighter mark on it. So if it didn't have it, I'd probably ask more like 10 for it. It's kind of, well, I don't know, maybe more like 7 or 8. But to be honest, you kind of gotta watch out for Gores. If it's just like a common Gores or a rare Gores, then it don't matter. They're like $1. But if you have a hollow printing that's in good condition, it is worth probably like $8 to like $15. Exploder Dragon, another card that kind of like randomly comes to mind. I remember running this in my in my dragon deck. When I first got back into Yu-Gi-Oh, I heard dragons were meta. I went to Target, got a Dragons Collide structure deck, and then I went to Swap Meet and just started buying every freaking dragon card recommended to me. And Exploder Dragon was one of them. And it's kind of like cool to see that that Exploder Dragon kind of, it's like, I don't know. I guess because I remember using this in like when I first got back into Yu-Gi-Oh in 2012. I remember putting I think it was the gold rare runs, had 2 copies in there just because it's good for removal. This is before I understood why like why you would run Exploder Dragon, but now I understand the reason why it was so good, because like back then Yu-Gi-Oh was so slow that it was actually a optimal play to use a card like Exploder Dragon, Grandmo, or like DD Warrior, or DD, like one of the DD monsters, to be able to like attack and get rid of the monster and then set something. That was actually a viable strategy, So it's kind of cool. You got the super rare from the World's Champion Pack 2007. This right here, like I said, if it's like if it's damage, it's gonna be about $1. If it's near mint, it's gonna be about 4 to 5. Like they got the gold rare for around the $1 price. Common for about 50 cents. There's like the dual toner for $1. It isn't really a lot of money, so like to be honest, there's a couple of past formats that do use Exploder Dragon, so I would kind of keep an eye on Exploder Dragon, and probably maybe want to keep a set on hand if you don't already have one. Speaking of Grandmo, here's another card that I kind of looked around, and like you got the Parallel Hobby League for like almost $5. You got the Ultra Rare from Basil Legend for like it says 53 cents, but the market price is around $1. Pretty much almost every single version of this card, we're looking at about like a 50 cents to $1 range. Probably like this is probably the version that like a lot of people probably currently have, to be honest. It's kind of been going everywhere because it is an Edison staple, but it's not used in the like really in the current meta. But at the same time, it's like a fan favorite. You got a live play first at 54 cents, and then after these, there's 15 copies at 54. But after these they go back to like 85 cents. So like to be honest, like it probably like probably a more like medium kind of price point for this card would be like $1 for like any kind of hollow printing, and make 50 cents for like the common versions. But one thing like I said, I've said it a lot, I love about Edison is that it is extremely affordable. Light Imprisoning Mirror is a very good floodgate, especially because Lightsworn is an extremely good deck. So is Fairy. Like Fairy and Lightsworn being in that meta is like those two decks just devastate. Christie is such a good card. The whole Lightsworn deck is such, like even though yeah sometimes you lose that mill, but like it is still very good. And also the fact that it is somewhat of a closed format. I know it is getting innovated a lot, so like every now and then like a new deck comes in, or like a new kind of stun variant comes in and kind of does XYZ. But in all honesty, seeing like kind of knowing that there's going to be a lot of people running dark decks, running these light decks, like they're gonna be there, they're gonna run Blackwing, they're gonna run Lightsworn. A card like Light Imprisoning Mirror is something that I would like to kind of invest in. I have a lot of ultra rare copies from Magnificent Mavens. They're at about 30 cents. A lot of the common ones are kind of in that price range, it's about like 30 and like 20. But like to be honest, I would focus more on these Magnificent Maven copies right here. They've been going all over the place, kind of starting to go up a little bit. But to be honest, near mint first edition, 30 cents. I would just not hesitate to go ahead and just be picking up at least a playset of this, because this is also good in the current meta. It isn't good in the main deck, but it is good as a side deck option if you know that there's a lot of lights. The format when I ran when I ran my Inspector Border Stun deck, having light and dark imprisoning, mirror, well maybe less light imprisoning mirror, but dark imprisoning mirror was extremely good, especially because there's a lot of Thunder Dragons running around the time when I was running that deck, and cards like this could really floodgate a lot of people. Speaking of, so I said Dark Imprisoning Mirror. I meant to say Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. Speaking of Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, I got this one right here. This one right here is going for a little bit more. You got another ultra rare from Magnificent Mavens. You got the commons for 25 cents, another common for 20 cents. The rare right here for, market price $2. I say on probably the damaged version is 77 cents, probably around $2. Dual to around $2. The Magnificent Mavens version is the one that I would be focused on. This is a very nice rarity, looks very nice, very affordable, going everywhere, very cheap. I would go ahead, light plate first at 21 cents, like 29 cents, 30 cents. I would go ahead and pick up a set of this. If it's something that you want to invest in, I would highly approve of this. Simply, it isn't just for Edison, because if Konami doesn't reprint this in a hollow version, it's some random a reprint or deck building set, this could be a really good sleeper card to put in your side deck to really catch people off guard. So Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, Light Imprisoning Mirror, I like them, really low, pick them up. And the last card I want to talk about is Fiendish Chain. This card right here is extremely, it has a really close place. It has a close place in my heart, because I remember when it got its I guess one of its first major reprints in the battle pack. And I remember me and my friends going to Target, buying buying all those I think there's special editions that had two, that had the freaking 2 battle packs, and then wait, no, hold up, I'm mixing up 2 different stories. I'm mixing up 2 different stories. But I do remember going to Target with my homies and buying it wasn't special edition, but there was a pack where they had 2 or 3 of them in there, specifically because we needed Fiendish Chains and Tour Guides. And also I think another card that came in that battle pack was Forbidden Lands. So Fiendish Chain always kind of has a close place in my heart, to where cards that we were just itching to get, and now it's really not that good. It could be taken out by cards that could chain to it, that could just destroy it. But apparently this also is available in Edison. I didn't know that. Maybe it's the 2000 and Edison 2011, because I know there's kind of 2 different versions of Edison. There's Edison, which is 2010, 2011. Then there's another Edison format, which is that includes the frogs and the plants and other stuff. So maybe this one's in the Edison format, but I don't know. I just kind of want to shout it out, because I love any format that allows me to play Fiendish Chain. You got the ultra rare from Legend Collection at 69 cents, nice. Commons for 20 cents, commons for 20. So they're very affordable all day, but I wouldn't want to be caught, in a position where you do not have Fiendish Chain. So if you get these ultra rares for about 70 cents, try to get like a set for maybe like $1 or $2, and that would be like really cool. The original super rares, you know, if you get them for like, you know, like a, you know, good price, maybe $4 each. If not, there's a whole bunch of commons for like about like anywhere from 10 cents to 20 cents. All right, guys, that's it for the video. Hopefully, you know, hopefully this kind of helps you out to understand like how Edison is really affordable. Probably like in the next couple of days, I'm gonna come out with another market watch talking about some more obscure Edison cards that, you know, that I guess maybe people like weren't necessarily aware that they were in Edison format. But till then, peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.